Okay, so we are back in chapter 11. This is going to be part C. We have got the text festival that is opened up in the texturizer. Just pop that down. Now you're not seeing this whole thing. Let me see if I can, there we go, get this a little bit smaller so that it fits in my capture window. So we can go to actual or fit in view to make sure that everything fits on the screen. Now, we want to try to come up with something that's a little bit fun and festive on this and is just kind of cool. You can experiment with any of these filters. So you can try and apply lots of different filters to this. You can really change these up so you can see them a lot. Grain is going to be smaller. Patchwork is going to do all kinds of stuff. Stained glass, texturizer. There's all kinds of things. So we want to look at the texturizer, and the now it's giving you the texture in texturizer, which is the default, comes up with canvas. The scaling you want to take up to 110% or better. A relief, you want to bring that up a little bit more. And you can experiment and try whatever you want and work with whichever one. I don't recommend stained glass. It's just a little bit too chunky, but grain or mosaic is good. Whichever one you want, try crackler. I think the effect on that is great. So just work with that. Relief on this one is going to be at least 5. I'm going to actually bring mine up a little bit more. You can select your lighting, whether you want it from the top, whether you want it from the bottom. It's going to affect how everything looks. So, experiment with that. I'm going to follow what's in the book, but please feel free to select something else. Now, click the eye icon to the left of the name texturizer so that you can, that's right here, you're going to turn it off, turn it back on, and you'll see how the effect works. Okay? Once you've got it, you can turn that back on again, and then you can click OK, and that's going to apply that texture. I want to make mine a little bit more visible, so I'm going to actually take the relief way up because I like it that way. So please make the change. Whatever you feel is going to work better for you, go ahead and change it. Now, the next thing we're going to do is work with a 3D effect. Illustrator 3D lets you create three-dimensional objects from your two-dimensional artwork. You can control the appearance of 3D artwork with lighting, with shading. You can rotate it. You can add other attributes. You can map artwork onto the surface. And mapping is allowed using the extrude and bevel or revolve. There are 3 3D effects that you can apply: extrude and bevel, revolve, and rotate. And on the top of page 346, there is an example of that. We're going to apply a 3D rotating effect to the jazz text. So select the text for jazz. And now go up to Effect, go to 3D, and pick Rotate. In the 3D Rotate option, you're going to set the following. Well, I'm going to set the following. You may actually want to make some changes. I'm going to put Preview on here. It's going to give us a little bit of a fit because Preview, to do this in Preview, it is going to really take some out of your computer. So I'm going to put a 10-degree, not a -10. So I've got 10 degrees on the x-axis. And then I'm going to go to my y-axis, and I am going to give that Oh, it's already at a -20. That's what I know, that's 26. So let me back that off. And you can experiment and get different settings depending on what you want to do. But do give your computer a little bit of time. If you have an older computer, it may chug a little bit on you. And perspective stays at 0. And we are not putting any surface shading on at this point. Okay, so give your text a little bit of time to catch up, and notice that you might get a warning on here where it says like gradients are going to be rasterized. So the gradient that's used is going to be displayed and printed as a bitmap graphic rather than the the solid fill of the vector line art, which we normally would have. So if you would be concerned about the raster effect setting, if we were going to print this, we would go into Effect and set our document raster effect settings. But at this point, this is something my design students will need to worry about when we get into doing some printing. But for this class, I'm not too concerned about it, just that you need to be aware of that. We're going to click and drag the left edge of the face of the, oh, by the way, yeah, we're back in here. Sorry. Click and drag the left edge of the face of the track cube to the right, and you can see how the text rotates. For unconstrained rotation, yes, you can drag the face on the cube. The front of the object is represented by the track cube in blue, and the back or the sides are in gray. The sides are medium gray, the back is dark gray, and the bottom is going to be a light gray. Choose off-axis front from the position menu. So not custom, but we want off-axis front. Okay? And then you're going to click OK. Now the off-axis front is going to change our settings off from what we originally set them to. And now with the selection tool, drag the text up to position it. So anyway, we're going to click OK on that. And then you can drag your text around to position it. If your text goes off the side, that's perfectly fine. The font that I chose is a little bit different, so my text, and it's got to redraw it every time you move it. So give it some time, give your computer time. Don't think that everything has gone crazy. It probably has, but make sure you give it a little bit of time. Next, we're going to, and then save when you are caught up with that. Next, we're going to use a graphic style, which is a set of appearance attributes that you can reuse. So graphic styles are something you can create yourself, or there's also some graphic styles that come preloaded. So we're going to go to the graphic styles. If you go into Window, graphic styles, it's going to come up over here. It should be linked in with the libraries and the appearance panel. And you can break the link between an object and an applied graphic style so that you can edit the object without affecting any other objects that have that same graphic style in it. So if you have something like a map, you can create a graphic style to make the shape, make a color, and add drop shadow, but you can paint all of the city shapes, and if you want to use a different color, you can change the fill of the style, and anything that has that graphic style is updated. So we're going to apply a graphic style from one of the graphic style libraries that comes stock with the program. So we're going to add a graphic style to one other piece of text. So we want the graphic style panel tab. So now we're going to go down and get the library open, and we want Vonster. So let's find Vonster pattern styles. And we get this dialog box. And just like the other libraries for the colors that we've used and for other things, for the brushes and stuff, all of those are available for you to use. And we're going to select the number 3 shape up here. Make sure you get the number 3. It's behind the jazz text. And click the Alyssa 1 graphic style. So I believe it's this one. Yeah. So if you don't mess with your panel size, it's going to be the first one in the second row. And that adds that to the panel. And you can close the other panel that came up, the library panel. Now, clicking that style applies the appearance attributes to the selected 3 artwork, and it adds that graphic style in this panel. Now, with the number 3 still selected, go now into your appearance panel and look at the stroke and multiple fills applied to the selected artwork. So we have this fill, which is the style Alyssa, and we should have Path Alyssa 1 at the top. This indicates that the graphic style named Alyssa 1 is applied to it. So we have a fill that and another fill. Let's see what this one is. This fill is added down here, and that is Alyssa. And this fill is, I don't see it. I'm not sure what it is. And it might just be a color. So we'll not worry about that too much. So I could go with bring up an alternate, but anyway, so we have the 2 colors applied, the background color. If I turn this off, it pulls that background color out. So we have those applied and no stroke. Now, click the Graphic Style Panel tab to show the panel again. Now, click the Jazz text and then right-click and hold down the mouse button on the Alyssa 1 Graphic Style thumbnail in the Graphic Styles panel to preview the graphic style on the artwork. So we're going to right-click and hold that mouse button down over Alyssa 1, and you'll see it pop up in this window. When you're done previewing, release the mouse button. It's one way that you can see how something's going to affect an object without actually applying it, because remember how long that's going to take for something like this one with all those attributes on it to redraw. So that's a good way to do that. Again, you might want to save about now to make sure that nothing disappears and if you're doing fine. If you get a warning icon on the left end of your control panel, that's okay. That means that the topmost stroke or fill isn't active in the appearance panel. So don't worry about that. Now we're going to create a new graphic style and apply that graphic style to your artwork. Click on the number 3 one more time and click the appearance panel. Click the Add New Fill at the bottom. There should now be 3 fills applied to the number 3. The Alyssa 1 is gone from the word after path. It means that the graphic style is no longer applied to the artwork. We're going to make the following changes to the fill attribute rows. Top fill, we're going to change from Alyssa to lines. That's this one. Hide your swatches. You can click off or use the escape key. The middle fill is going to be paper. Okay, opacity. Now I want to go to luminosity. There it is. Okay, click off. And now going to the bottom fill, I want to select the orange that's called Festival. There it is. It's more of a peachy color than an orange. And click off to deselect that. The number 3 should now have a series of textures and an orange color applied to the fill.